Well, let's start there. I asked you yesterday about what may have changed between their team and your team since opening night. It's been a long time since you've seen them. What's different about you and about them?
I don't know. Not a whole lot that I think of. I mean, both teams are pretty good hockey teams, and what's the standings? 3 or 4 points in the difference, I think, in the two teams. So, no, they're a good team. They're a good hockey team. They, they got a veteran team. They play hard. So, not much has changed.
Do you go back and look at that first game, or is that too far back?
Oh, that's too far back.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, you watch enough games. They play on TV. You watch enough of their games. You know what they're going to bring. I mean, Ovechkin's not changing his game. I'm sure the rest of their team aren't going to change. They got Backstrom back, obviously. So,
how important do you look at? Because if you look at your division, there's 4 teams at the top that have all kind of been, trading spots with each other. And positioning, I guess, how important do you see that? Those teams are in good playoff position, but whether you finish first, third, fourth, I mean, how much of a difference does that make?
personally, I don't. I mean, I want to win games to get points, and I don't really concern who you're going to play in the playoffs. If you make the playoffs, if we're fortunate enough to make the playoffs, then you know what, you're going to play a good team. And I wouldn't know which team to pick right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can look at you and say, well, this is a better matchup. I can't say that. Even if you're the wild card team, the wild card team's going to play a top team on the other side. So
as long
you
as
look
you
at the 8 teams that are there today, if that was the way it was finished,
yeah,
what team would you want to play?
that's a good
Seriously.
question.
I mean,
Yeah. But so as far as like winning the division, as long as you get into the playoffs, that's the main goal. Winning the division isn't.
no, I want to win games. I mean, I want to win the division, but it's a battle to do that. So you got to play every night and get as many points you can. I don't worry with the playoffs unless you get there. So we know that whoever gets in the playoffs are going to play a good team. That's the way the conference is built. So there's no easy outs. If you finish if you finished 8th and you play the first on the other side, you know what? That's going to be a great team. If you finish 2nd or 3rd, you're going to play a great team. So it doesn't matter. It just matters about winning games and playing good hockey.
What about the, guys yesterday were talking about, it's almost like a playoff preview, right? Because you're going to be playing somebody, you're playing all the games.
There's 30, how many games we got left?
Yeah.
32? It's far from a playoff preview. That's the farthest thing from my mind.
Okay.
I don't know how that got brought up today, but anyway.
Maybe I
It's too far for
Maybe I
that.
use different
It's too
words.
far for that. We got too many
Guys-
games against Pittsburgh and Washington and the Islanders. We got to play a bunch of games, so we're way far from that.
This is the first time that Tom Wilson's bring up a name out of nowhere. Is back at the Garden since
Yeah.
last March. There was so much around it going into the opener. Do you think there's anything around it coming into this game?
I really don't, Larry. I mean, we never talked about it once. I mean, no, I don't think there's nothing. I really think there's nothing. It's just it's another game against a team that's a rival, a division opponent that's just a few points behind us, and that's what's important. I don't think there's anything there.
Your top 2 pairs, do you essentially consider them interchangeable as far as matchups, or are there certain lines you want?
No,
fought?
interchangeable.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a perfect word. Yeah, you could play them against. It doesn't matter the first, second line of the other team. It depends on the night who's playing well, and maybe a little bit of size, physicality, something like that. But for the most part, they're interchangeable.
When you have,
And that's what we want our third pair to be too. With Schneider coming, young kid, but that's what you'd love to see. Not worried about who's on the ice against any top lines.
And how do you think that's progressed?
It's coming. I mean, it's obviously not there, but there's steps going in the right direction. So that's a goal, and that's a goal for every team, obviously. But I mean, it'd be a huge thing for us.
I don't think we asked you the other day after Nemeth hadn't played for a while what you thought about him the other night, and I think Jones being sent down is probably a sign that you guys were happy with what you saw.
Yeah, no, he played hard. He played good. I mean, he looked quick. He's been really good in practice, so we're happy in the game. And again, Jones is a young player that's good, that we really liked in all the games he played. But we don't want somebody sitting in the stands. We want him to play some games down there, and if you got to bring it back up, we bring it back up with no issues.
Does that become a concern with Barron too, if he doesn't play for too long, that you might want to get him some games down there?
Well, we always want to get those kids games, but I think you're going to see Barron sooner than later.
when you have a really good power play like you guys have, does it help in other areas, like, because teams are worried about going in box, so does it help, winning puck battles, get along the boards, winning ice?
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely when your power play's been as hot as ours been for the most part of the year, it's a good thing. But I mean, we gotta work a little harder in the offensive zone, trying to create more, make defensemen haul you down a little bit, make sure we're moving our feet going to the net a little bit more. So the last 3 games, not many power plays, 3 or 4, I think. I'm not sure, but there wasn't a whole lot, I know that. And, but we gotta do a better job in drawing some penalties too.
Do you think teams are?
But definitely teams are aware of the power plays. I mean, when we play Toronto, we're aware of, trying to stay out of the box and, no undisciplined penalties.